exploration into the Ajna chakra today is that we're going to start laying on the belly. So I'll stay up close, just to allow a meditative state to come into the space and into your body. So take your time to come to laying on your belly. And you're welcome to have the hands pillowed and to rest the brow to the pillow of your hands. If for whatever reason that's not comfortable in your shoulders, feel free to adapt. So take your time to come to laying on your belly. Yeah. And as ever, those gentle reminders to meet yourself where you're at in your practice today. And you can just start to close the eyes as long as that's feeling safe for you. And letting go of any expectations. Maybe settling into a new feeling of practicing next to a friend today. So life is always changing like a river, this dynamic equilibrium. And here we gather on this morning, and it is the discovery of the Ajna chakra today. So we've traveled from the root, and just let yourself feel these things. The root chakra, the keeper of beginnings at the base of the spine, and up through the Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral space, one's sweetest abode. As we climb up from the root, just soften into the interiority of your pelvis. Let any clenching of the glutes, of the buttock muscles just soften away, so the legs are relaxing. And then we traveled up to the third chakra, the Manipura, the jewel, which is where we really learn to direct our fire. What are we hungry for? What does power, la puissance, what does that really mean? True, authentic power. And we feel that in our combustion, in our transference of what we eat into energy. And from that Manipura, we traveled up to the heart. So let yourself just flush golden light that has risen up from your belly and spread it across the radiance of your heart space. So what does it mean to be wholehearted? What is the song your heart is wanting to sing? And last week we traveled to the Vishuddha, the throat chakra, Vishuddha meaning to purify. So this throat area, this divine passageway between head and heart. So in the here and now, you can gently create that whooshing sound at the back of the throat. It's our Ujjayi breathing. And letting the thinking mind just disband for a little bit, which can be challenging, as we know. But as we rise up today to explore the Ajna, let your inner awareness, like this mental acuity, which we call dharana in Sanskrit, meaning single-pointed focus. So we cultivate our true power to shine the light in this world and maintain that focus and discipline. And it's not realistic that we can be like this all the time, of course, but in the here and now, just be willing to let go of distractions, any worries, things that are on your mind, so that this Ajna, which means to command or to perceive, can truly start to be an inner lighthouse for you, like this spirit eye, come alive, spirit eye, help me thrive. So let all that gathering and traveling from the chakras now culminate in the area we call head. We live in a very mind-centric world, very thought-based. And as we know, we need to keep returning to the realm of body, of feeling, of sensation. So we develop the Buddhi mind, the higher mind. And to open up our inner vista, our inner insight. So let a soft glow start to pulse in the center of your head. It's often a chakra associated with both the pineal and pituitary glands. They're very powerful endocrine glands that are governing so much of our hormonal titration, cellular signaling. So if we feel fuzzy or we feel cluttered, we know it doesn't feel good. So let's focus this breath into that center point. If it's easier to locate it by picturing the space between your eyebrows and just tracing that back into the middle of your head. So it's your spirit eye, it's your third eye, sometimes known as the first eye. So inhale into this space, let it clear, clarity, intuition. Exhale, allow debris in this area to loosen. Breathing in, almost like there's a horizon from each ear in the center of your head. Exhale, light up that horizon within, like an electrical pulse. Breathing in, I see. Breathing out. Inhale, clarity comes naturally. Exhale, soften the eyeballs. 3 more, breathing in, insight center. Exhale and furrow the brows. So we let those mental knots and distortions lessen. 1 more, breathing in, light up your inner lighthouse, light up your path ahead. And exhale. Just let something go. Beautiful. So coming gently, sometimes we can feel a bit spaced out. We've kind of gone right in there. Coming gently into a tabletop position. So our all fours position. And as ever, you're very welcome to keep the eyes closed. So as we move through our cat-cow, the invitation is to move back into a child's pose. So if it's helpful to have a look first, we inhale into our cow and look up, and exhale round into cat and take it back to child's pose and touch the brow to the earth. Inhale, come back to tabletop, look up, and exhale, that humility of the brow touching Mother Earth for inspiration, for true insight. And carrying on, so the inhale takes you back to cow, all fours, gaze lifts. And exhale, round into cat, so you really explore the back body as you take it into a humble child's pose. Inhale, river through the spine. And exhale, rounding, sitting back into your child's pose. And just carry on a few more rounds. Going at your own pace. And it might be that you want to orientate with your eyes open. Especially as women, we can sometimes get very disorientated because there's so many expectations. But just know that it's completely fine to open the eyes so you feel like you're safe in your space. Of course, if landing in the deeper realm of third eye feels good and the eyes are happy to close, then follow that. But as ever, these are just invitations. They're never mandatory instructions. Because our agency is so important, our sovereignty. So how does it feel to move in true agency? We need to feel what that feels like so we can access it when we inevitably get nervous or overwhelmed or start to feel our triggers rising up. Beautiful. A couple more rounds. Just flowing, like this is really calming your lighthouse so it can glow brighter and show you the way from within. Well done. Use your next exhale to rest all the way back in your child's pose. And if pranam is there for you, meaning offering, you can reach the arms long in front, bring the hands to prayer, and then bend up the elbows and rest that prayer behind the back of the head. Sometimes if the shoulders are tight, it doesn't have to be perfect, of course, but you might find it helpful to ease the elbows forwards a little bit. If that's too intense in the shoulders, just meet yourself where you need to be. So what is the humble prayer or your true intention for your practice today? Like, offer it up. You are allowed to dream big. When we have distortions or imbalances in the third eye, we can get very easily confused. We can sell ourselves a narrative that we can't access meditation or we don't know how to do it, which are falsehoods. Each one of us has access to these tools, and they will resonate in different ways. So almost as if Pachamama, Mother Earth, is vibrating, which she is anyway, because the Earth has a measurable vibration of 7.83 hertz. Let that vibration pulse into your third eye. So as your brow is resting to the Earth, that terra firma, let yourself feel it. As women, we are keepers of the rhythm. Women were the first drummers, if we trace it all the way back to shamanic roots, before dogma came and overthrew the true truth. So it is a more meditative practice today. And sometimes that can be challenging because the asana, the movements of yoga, can feel quite useful for not going inwards. And of course, that's nuanced. And the more we awaken this third eye, our capacity to perceive and to command our command centers within, to put those dreams and visualizations in. So really hold a powerful intention for yourself and be kind in noticing where there is limitation. We all do this. Like, oh, I don't deserve to dream that big, or, oh, that person is always going to be better at that than I could ever be. Put your inner lighthouse on as a bright light. You are worthy of this bright light. You are the light. And then climb your way into downward dog. So you can feel your way there if you want to take a few cat-cows beforehand. That freedom. So this is really very much the chakra that helps us understand the power of our imagination. So how does it feel to be in this upside down shape? How does it feel to just be in a strong position? Like to tap into our strengths. And it's okay if some days we're working with an injury or we're more fatigued, know that you just come down anytime you need to. If you're okay, then take an inhale and raise the right leg up behind you for three-legged dog. So really line up that right foot, spin the toes down, charge the left heel to the earth without forcing, and come back to that inner compass, the third eye. So feel that pulsing at the brow. So your inner guidance, your intuition is lining up. And you have the strength for this. You do. One more breath. And release that side. If you need a rest between sides, you know you can take it. Otherwise, an inhale sends the left leg up, like you're pressing into the air through the left foot. Lift the upper arm bones away from the floor and slide the shoulders down the back, like your third eye is coming closer to earth. A nice deep breath. So notice if there's a pattern of holding the breath. Keep that elevated leg long, like a plume of smoke. One more breath. Spirit eye, come alive. And release. Beautiful. So let's come down into a seat. If you prefer to sit back on your heels rather than cross-legged Sukhasana, you're so welcome. And as we're working with this insight center, the Ajna chakra today, we'll just send a bit of love into our physical eyes. So we can consider third eye, like we have a triad. So of course we know we have these two eyes, but we have that insight center as well, the third eye. So just take a little moment to cup the hands over the knees in a way that helps you align up more through the spine, and almost as if there's a golden orb of light spinning above you, that you're reaching into that, and the shoulders tumble down the back. And look up. So just lift the eyes and just see how it feels to lift the eyes without moving the head. Not so you're stressing yourself out, but just so the head is calm. And just breathe. So, you know, depending on the current health of your nervous system, eye work can really move things around. If you've ever had an experience of EMDR, eye movement desensitization programming, and our eyes are profound switches for the brain. So if this starts to feel too intense or weird, you can rest. But let this be as if you're looking up to your third eye, so that space between your eyebrows. And take a couple of deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. So exercising the musculature of the eyes as well. One more breath, breathing in and breathing out. Relax through the hands. Relax the eyes, close the eyelids for a sweet moment. And just notice how things feel. Maybe that lighthouse is able to be visualized, visualization, imagination, clairvoyancy, and all the qualities of the third eye. So what is it to truly perceive? Life can only ever be how we perceive it. Good. So we'll come into a twist. Right hand, left knee, left arm behind you. And then gently slither up through the spine. So you offer the sternal plate, like the left breast is elevated and lifting, shoulders down the back. And then take the gaze, so the head position over to your right. So we're just spiraling up through the spine. Just take a little moment here, light up the toes and the feet. And then widen the eyes, so like you're brightening up the eyes. Orientate your awareness into the back of the head, so you feel the head is in alignment with the rest of the spine. And then look to your left, as far as feels comfortable. And just breathe there. So notice if there's a tendency to go into grip, maybe the low belly grips or the jaw is gripping. Just take your time with this. Deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Well done. Slowly take the eyes back through center and then easing out of the twist. Let the head just sit over the shoulders, close the eyes, and just integrate that. It's okay if you feel like you're spinning out a little bit. Maybe things are moving and gurgling in your belly because the nervous system, the vagus nerve, is getting toned here. So before we go to the second side, just bring your awareness to the sides of the neck. So just a little bit of the understanding around why these techniques can be so useful. So we have tissues called scalenes down the side of the neck, and they directly interface with part of the vagus nerve fibers. So the vagus nerve is this formidable bundle of parasympathetic nerve fiber tissue that runs from the brain all the way into the deep belly. And it spindles and spirals, so it's a huge mass of nerve fiber. And so say you imagine yourself speaking, maybe you're wanting to visualize a positive conversation with somebody that you need to have a very honest chat with. Or maybe, you're giving a presentation at work. We sometimes can feel that we lose our voice, or we get so stressed that the vagus nerve sort of gets shut down by the sympathetic nerve fibers. So just know that these techniques are helping you find a greater ease to communicate. Let's see how the second side feels. Left hand, right knee. Right arm comes behind you. So take time to really orientate into your seat. Feel that earthiness, that moolah. Reach up through the spine. So the more connected to earth we feel, the higher we can lift up. Imagine again that orb of light above the crown of the head. And then turning the head as comfortably to your left as feels okay. So by doing this, we're just opening up the scalene fibers at the side of the neck. And then we're adding like a little bit of a supercharge by bringing the eye movements in. So take your time, look over to the right. And you might see a little bit of the outline of your nose. So you're just keeping that brightness. And I know it can feel quite spinny. This side for me feels like I'm starting to spin out. So it's to discern, am I okay to stay with the spin, or do I need to ease off? So your body will tell you if you're gripping the thighs or the breath is getting lost. Just come back to some gentleness. Your inner lighthouse is being stimulated. You're waking up to your true intuition. And like any muscle, it needs practice. One more deep breath there. Let's do it together. Breathing in up through the back of the head and neck. And breathing out through the eyes. And then gently ease the eyes through center. Ease out of the twist. And then come to that closed eyes position. And just rest your awareness in that space between your eyebrows. And just notice, does clarity feel a little bit more present? Does the throat feel a little bit more safe to speak? And the affirmation with the Ajna chakra is I see. I see. I see. What are we really seeing? Comes back to perception. We're perceiving through conditioned filters. We're really asking the light to pour into this third eye space and clear the filters that distort and limit. And we cannot know freedom if we have not experienced limitation. Very good. We'll do a few rounds of humming and really send the hum into like the cavity of your head. So you're letting all of those vibrations be sacred vibrations to carry on clearing debris. So just a little reminder, we inhale as normal in the Brahmari breath and then hum out the exhale. Off we go, inhale. Breathing in, and really send the hum quite nasally, so behind the nose. Breathing in, spirit eye, come alive, light up your inner sight. Last one, breathing in. Inhale together. Let it be easeful as you slither up through the spine and then retain the breath at the top. So draw in Mula Bandha, the perineum. Feel that belly lock, Uddiyana Bandha, plunging navel there for you as well. So we're containing the prana. We're stimulating this inner lighthouse. And then gently exhale. Take your time. It's okay. You're safe. And then we're going to make the sound E. So this can really help, really quite high pitched. The idea is that this is helping stimulate the third eye. So it's like this sound, we are made of light and sound, helps to just open up the doorways of perception. Off we go, breathing in. E. Inhale, breathe into your feet so you stay grounded. One more, inhale, the sound is E, high pitched. E. Breathing in together, into your headspace, into your higher mind. And exhale, up into that orb of light, way above the crown of the head. And just let that integrate. Again, you might feel a bit spaced out. The sound work is very powerful. And of course, don't obligate yourself if you're like, I don't feel much. That's fine too. The practice can only ever be an experience. Good. One more thing, seated. If you feel like you want to change up the cross of the legs, if you're sitting cross-legged, just to keep that preference patterning in balance. We rub the hands together, so create a little bit of heat. Put all that love into your own hands. Open the hands for a little moment and then blow your love into them. And then take that into palming, cupped hands over your eyes. Let the eyes close and just let yourself feel the medicine of darkness. That to know the light, we need to know the dark as well. To befriend the night, to befriend some form of magic. So we open up to magical thinking. This is very much the visualization and the dreaminess of third eye. So imbalances, we might experience headaches, blindness, nightmares, migraines. So you're just being curious about how things show up for you. And the color typically associated with this chakra is indigo blue. It's almost like a night blue. A very healing color. And of course, if other colors come into your experience, this is fine. So we can't be linear about, you must think indigo blue only. This might be helpful, but it's okay for it to be something else. Let's do 3 breaths here, a real medicine bath for your eyes. All 3 of them, including the third eye. Breathing in. Breathing out through the back of the head. So it's like we're letting off steam. Breathing in. What does your inner guidance long to guide you to? Exhale. One more, breathing in. Drink in the darkness. And breathing out. Just let something soften within your own head. Remove the hands kindly, and through closed eyelids, just feel the light, the filters of light. And you might notice that your eyes move a little. Our eyes are always making connections. How we see is a very complex thing with the lens of the eyes, with the rods and cones in the structure of the eyes, and of course also our perception. What we expect tends to be realized. So let's be aware of what our expectations are. Expect brilliance, expect hope, expect kindness, expect fun. And then allow the eyes to gently open and just notice. It might feel nice to just look ahead. Again, if you need to orientate by just looking around, you might look at something on the wall or on the floor and notice. Do you want to look up? How does that change your experience? Maybe this wide-eyed sense of awe. Or do you need to look down because, you know, this is just a bit too intense to be ground? It's okay to look down as well. Beautiful. So let's come back into a downward dog. So Adho Mukha Svanasana. And really let the head and neck cascade, because likely after all that eye work and sound, just be curious about how the head might be able to just soften a little bit more. Maybe there's a greater sense of ease in the body. Maybe, again, there doesn't have to be. And how you feel within your own self. Good, we'll come back to that three-legged dog. So this power to raise the right leg up and to pour our brow towards the earth. So as the shoulders, as the heart wildly opens, our third eye, our perception, our capacity to truly see starts to become more open. What are you visualizing? The power of visualization, the power of imagination. Release that right leg down, well done. A fresh inhale sends the left leg up. So keep the toes spinning down. Propel the shoulder blades towards the back of the heart so the front of the heart can open. Draw the front ribs in a little bit, especially if there's a tendency to over puff. And cascade beams of light down the back of the neck. One more breath. You're stronger than you know. And release. Well done. Inhale into plank. Knowing that if it suits you today to bring the knees down, this is completely fine. Or to pike the hips a little bit. So whichever you choose, remember that doming action into the back of the heart. And just keep your gaze soft. So whilst we're in a strong physical shape, can we stay cool in the mind? So that inner lighthouse is awakening more and more. Sacred vibrations, all that humming, all that sound. Well done. One more breath. And then come all the way down onto the belly. Rest the brow to the earth, which might feel really nice. Might feel very grounding. So the frontal lobe of the brain can have a relax. And we come more into the higher mind. So let the arms be alongside you, palms facing up. And zip your two legs up together as long as that feels comfortable. And just gently notice where the pelvis is. Does it need to gently press down into the floor to free up the lower back? And let the shoulder heads lift away. And just take a moment here, like you're massaging into your very insight center. Just roll the head gently. So just giving your brow a massage. So this is known in the Tao, the Daoist tradition. The Tao means the way, which really is, there is no way. There is only the way of truth. That you're just nurturing this upper Dan Tien, the brow center, the insight center, the Ajna chakra. So just really let yourself receive this massage across the brow. Keeping the shoulder heads lifted and the backs of the hands are resting to the floor. Good, and then center the brow, breathe into the back of the neck, and then inhale into Shalabhasana. So locust pose where all four limbs lift away from the floor, but orientate the head in a way that feels honoring. So you're in alignment with what feels true for you. Light up the toes, light up the hands. Keep the legs long, like plumes of energy. One more breath, fly high. And release everything down. Turn the head to one side and just let yourself breathe. Let yourself be. So when we open up to more meditative practices, which we're all capable of, again, just needs practice. Just like, remember, if you can even remember the first time you did a downward dog. Like, oh my gosh, what is this? Shaking and smoking, and this is impossible. But now, it's like, hey, downward dog, yeah. We exercise the muscles, and they respond. This is exactly the same with the power of our mind. So we keep reminding ourselves and each other, rules of the mind, what we expect tends to be realized. So if we expect that we're going to be the victim, if we expect, oh, that person's going to let me down, or, oh, if we expect life is one big disappointment, guess what? That's what our life becomes. So what do you want to weave and spin into this powerful insight center? And perhaps use something that you are feeling limited in at the moment. It's okay, we need to go and do this work with our shadow self. Where are you limiting yourself? Whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a work situation, whether it's to do with your health, whether it's to do with financial, whether it's to do with home, our sense of, are we safe in our home? Are the walls okay? Are the radiators working? Is the tap dripping? How can you draw upon the power of your third eye, like a lighthouse, to spotlight that issue so that a solution can be applied? And just let yourself open up to your imagination here. What starts to play out in the screen of your mind? What's the limitation? Are we being cornered by our own self-doubt? And go with what comes up naturally without limiting. Maybe it's a big thing. Maybe you're going through a big transformation. These past 3 years have asked this of us. Maybe it's just something like, I really got to fix that tap. And you're going to put that in. You're like, okay, I'm going to call the person and I'm going to get them come over and look at it. Or I'm going to go and buy a washer in that shop I know and fix it myself. Get the solutions coming forth. The more we exercise doing this, we visualize a solution, we bring it to us. This is resonance. So with our third eye coming alive, we see way more clearly what is discordant. And that which is discordant can no longer hold. It has to fall away. Like the wise owl You know, the owl is very much a totemic animal ally for the third eye. Are we getting a clear vision around the situation? Have we disregarded what the other person's view might have been? Now, these are not always easy reflections, so it's okay. Take one more deep breath there. Now you're drumming up a solution to that situation that has come forth from your subconscious. But trust it's come up for a reason. And then take your time to come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Slide the hands, press the hands in. Let yourself river back to this wonderful shoulder opener. This agency and autonomy we claim when we really open up our perceptions and go beyond our conditioned filters. Take an inhale, send the right leg up behind you, and use the exhale as momentum, knee towards the brow, and step the right foot all the way through. Between the hands, your back foot is flat across the mat, so feel that connection of your feet to the earth. Root to rise into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So it's our hip opening warrior. We're gently and strongly moving into strengthening the legs here. So reach fingertip to fingertip and set your third eye, your lighthouse, over the infinite line of extension of your first finger. Middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Like feel that extension through your hands. What horizon are you calling in? And lift up through the heart so the throat can open and your third eye is guiding you. Future. Inhale, exalt the warrior so the right arm reaches up towards the heavens, the higher spaces. No real weight in this left arm. Just let the left shoulder dance down the back. See if you can keep that right leg strong and the bend in the knee there. Relax the toes, connection through the feet to the earth, and look up. So all that eye work, brighten up your eyes, call in hope, call in vision. Pull in your higher mind. One more breath. And then tumble the hands all the way down to earth. Pivot that back foot forwards and ease into your dog. Relax into the brow. Any movements that feel natural, follow them. And then we go for second side. Inhale, left leg reaches high behind you. Exhale, knee towards the brow to step that foot through. Back foot flat, root to rise, windmill the right arm behind you. Virabhadrasana 2, Vira meaning hero. Hero, heroine. You are the protagonist of your own life. You are the myth maker, the storyteller. And myths and legends are real, they come alive in how we live them in our lives. So imagine that lighthouse at your brow just shining, awakening. Breathe. And then exalt, that hopeful exaltation. We reach into higher realms. We dream higher aspirations for ourselves into being, which nurtures the whole. We go beyond limitation. We come out of being trapped in the projections of others. Sovereignty, agency, autonomy. Reach into that knowing you are worthy of it. One more breath. And then pour the hands to earth. Let your brow guide you back to downward dog. And just loosen off the head and neck. So this insight center, this power center, is helping guide you more and more. One more breath here. Good. Walk the hands back towards your feet. If you need the feet to be wider, then absolutely do that. And then you can either hold the ankles or first 2 fingers of each hand hook underneath the big toe. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine and look up. So those bright eyes, all 3 eyes brighten up. And then exhale, pour the crown of the head down to earth. Some of you might find that the elbows can bend out to the sides. So this sense of tumbling down, to turn things on their head, to get a different view, to recognize where we have become narrow in our thinking. We come back to the wisdom of the body. Wisdom is very much the quality of this Ajna chakra. So nice deep breaths. Knowing if you need to ease off, it's okay. Recognize where there are patterns of pushing yourself too hard. Use your breath. Relax and soften the jaw. Relax and soften the shoulders. So we seek the guidance from within. The light from within. One more deep breath. Maybe the hips lift, even a millimeter. Just feel that feeling. And then rise gently to standing. So take your time. Really feel the power of your insight center guiding you. So we're connected and grounded through the feet. And then there's all this space through the spine. Shoulders down the back once we're there standing. And then look to your horizon. Notice how it feels now in your body to be standing. Claim how it feels. Let it feel good. Let it feel powerful. And then keeping your eyes to your horizon, which means it stays spacious rather than tunneled, where we're in fear mode, we tunnel vision. Let it open up. And then right foot, standing foot. Keep your gaze to the horizon and lift this left knee and hold at the shin or underneath the thigh. So we just notice where there's a pattern to need to look down, trust. And you can always have another play at entering that if you found that your pattern was to look down. Again, it comes back to pattern recognition, interrupt the pattern. We're just hanging out, standing on one leg. Let the left hip drop down. Feel the musculature of your right thigh muscles wrapping around the thigh bone. And that right foot pressing into the earth, and the earth is holding you strong. Your inner vision is awakening. Feel that. Your higher mind is coming online. And then release that foot down. Keep your eyes to the horizon. And then lift the right knee. So it can be a bit more challenging because we have patterns, of course. Know the ground is there. And by looking to your horizon, looking more spaciously, just notice how that feels. The sides of the neck. So we can feel a bit calmer. Soften the creases of the eyes. Soften the brow. And release. Well done. Beautiful. So we'll just have a little moment standing in Tadasana. If you're feeling like a little bit spaced out, feel free to keep the feet hip distance. If it feels okay to bring the feet together, then do. And we'll just bring the hands into a prayer and rest the thumbs at the brow center. And as long as it feels safe for you, you can close the eyes. And just feel that prayer, that offering at your brow. So like the eagle who soars high, high above, eagles can fly up to 20,000 feet high. So they have the capacity to see the bigger picture. They also have the capacity for razor sharp focus. But this reminds us of the true tantric philosophy of non-dualism, meaning we can hold two seemingly opposing ideas at the same time. So we can see both the bigger, vast, kaleidoscopic picture, as well as being razor clear in what we are dialing up in our lives. We have the capacity, we each have the capacity to do this. It might formulate in different ways, of course, because we're unique. But trust. Send this offering into your spirit eye, into your third eye, into your command center. You are the commander of your body and mind, which cannot be separated. Let's do 3 deep breaths together. Breathing in, elevate the elbows. Exhale, melt the shoulder blades down the back. I know sometimes the arms fatigue here. You can rest if you need to. 2 more otherwise. Breathing in, make that offering. Visualize it, feel it. Exhale, all the things that limit. Breathing into your insight center. And exhale, letting go of attachment to outcome, that we create a vision and then we trust spirit's guidance. Release the arms. You might choose to keep the eyes closed and just feel that imprint of your intention, the physical imprint of your thumbs that gently pressed into the brow, but also what that really represented. We're so quick to limit ourselves and shut down. And this is because we forget our worthiness. And just notice it's okay if the eyes are closed, that there's a natural sway. We're made significantly of water. Fluidity is our nature. And yet we also feel that strength in our bones, the element of earth, the element of standing so very comfortably in the skin we're in. Let's do 3 breaths into that. Breathing in through the open channels of your feet. Breathing out through your third eye center, that lighthouse shining. Breathing in, this time through the crown of the head, like the light pour in, receive it. And exhale out both your ears, so that horizontal line is opening for you. Breathing in, buoyancy, intuition, wisdom. And exhale, fear, shame, blame, judgment. Good. And just take your time to come to your expression of Shavasana. So if you feel like coming down through a squat, you might like to do that. Of course, come down through all fours or a downward dog. And get down to your Shavasana, however feels most safe and sacred for you. So ensuring you are comfortable. Because when we move out of our comfort zone, which some of today might have been, we then remind the body-mind system of the relaxation response. And to really open up to the power of visualization, the power of our dreams, the power we have to truly play the cosmic game and to have fun with it. Relax now into your whole body. The front body melts into the back body. The third eye rests, allowing your inner vision to continue to open. And drawing upon Anodea Judith's book on the chakras, Wheels of Life. Ajna means both to perceive and to command. The passive side of this chakra is the perception, but the active side is the creation of reality through the projection of our visualizations, sometimes called creative imaging. Whether we project a vision of world peace or personal success, these images are the seeds within consciousness from which all reality is grown. Knowing this, shall we not start a garden? Allow yourself to rest deeply now within your own interior garden. What needs pruning? What needs fertilizing? What needs just leaving alone? Allow yourself to rest deeply. Allow your breath to deepen and really let yourself observe from your third eye how you feel. That inner guidance that is always there for you. That little tapping upon your brow. You might gently turn the head side to side, just so there's that coming home to yourself. And give the feet, the toes a little wiggle. Sometimes when we work into the higher chakras, it can feel very etheric. And so it's just important to ground into our lovely feet so we remember we're earth walkers as well as spirit seekers. And really thank yourself for coming to your practice today, and all the boons and blessings that it offers you. If there's more stretches or yawns or noises, always know that is your agency, and taking your time to rise and meet in a seat. And there's no rush. If you want to stretch or hug the knees in or roll to one side and just be there for a couple of moments, then do. And as you rise to a seat, really just note how it feels now for the head to be above the heart. Just take a breath into the back body. So often we're very forward, so we just let ourselves ripple back. And bring the hands to prayer, this time at the heart. And to just integrate whatever your experience was today. Inhale together. Exhale. And we seal our practice. Namaste.